Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Terry with Next Wave Cruising.
I'm Rich.
And Rich and I are going to take you through a walk through the pharmacy before you go on your next cruise. So let's talk about it. Welcome back. As you may have seen in some of our other videos, we've been preparing a series for you of must-haves and good-to-have items that you can think about getting and packing before you leave on your next cruise vacation. And we're sharing with you some of the things that we have assembled because we're getting ready to go on another cruise ourselves. And in 2021, sometimes things are a little bit different. I think, though, for the walk in the pharmacy, most of this is my sort of go-to items that I would say anytime are appropriate to think about bringing. Now, one of them is that many cruises, not all, are going to involve a lot of outdoor activities. Now, whether they're on an island and really in the sun all day long, or in parts of the world that might surprise you, it's really important to put sun protection.
Absolutely.
And so bringing your own sunscreen with you from home is going to be really important, to have enough for everyone in your traveling party and not to pay an exorbitant amount to buy it at the last minute at the airport or on your cruise ship. And you have much more control at home when you shop and purchase a brand that really provides the protection that you need from a sun protection point of view, but also that perhaps has the kind of ingredients you want and don't want to have in your sunscreen. So here's one brand that I have been using for several years. It's called Sunbum, and this one is very clearly marked that this is paraben-free and oxybenzone-free. When you go to whatever store you shop in, it could be Target, Walmart, your supermarket, you're going to see a shelf filled with many, many brands of sunscreen. This is an area where I really recommend that you stop and read the package. Things that are potential carcinogens that you're lathering over large parts of your skin and across your body can be contained in some sunscreens and you don't realize it. And so if you can look for sunscreens that are very clearly marked as being paraben-free and oxybenzone-free, you're doing yourself and your family a big favor. You can actually go to the Environmental Working Group, EWG. They have a website and they will rate all of these kinds of products that are either very safe for use, maybe have some moderate amount of a questionable ingredient, and those that are really ones you should look out for and maybe avoid when you have other choices. So not only do you want to get the right coverage, like I have a 30 and a 50 sunscreen in our pack to go, right, but I am always really careful about what the ingredients are, and that's super important. Yeah. Along those lines, I also like to bring something that's sort of a clear zinc kind of face cover, which is great for people's noses, under their eyes, under their glasses, that tend to reflect a lot of light up from the ground or the water, and people tend to get really burned on that thin, sensitive skin. Sometime I think too, depending on the style of someone's bathing suit, up around the neckline as well. And so zinc, which is not a chemical but a mineral, kind of a physical barrier, is another really good part of your sunscreen regimen to bring with you, and that's a great one to bring. But in addition to that, I also wanted to bring up these two brands. Badger is one, and Goddess Garden is another. When you're going out on a cruise ship and into different environments, you're often swimming in oceans, not just in pools. And these brands of sunscreen have gone to great lengths to make sure that they are nanoparticle free, and that they are not damaging reefs where you may be snorkeling and diving, as well as giving you great coverage. So like this one says, it's water resistant for 40 minutes, it's non-GMO, so good ingredients, non-nano, and it's biodegradable. And they'll have certified different logos on the back, and in this case on the can on the side, letting you know that this is not only scent-free but reef-safe, non-nano, biodegradable, and non-GMO products. So this is another way that you can do right by the environment and do right by your sun protection. Look for brands that really have these kind of special characteristics. You may have to find these in some other stores. I think I found these at Whole Foods.
Oh, okay.
So in their health and beauty aids department. But I wouldn't find this in my regular local supermarket. They don't carry these brands, but I'd say look for them. They really do you a lot of good. And if even with all the sunscreen, you just can't help yourself, you've been out in the sun all day, the other thing you might want to bring with you for you or your family member is a travel size aloe gel for that cool down after too much sun. I think it's happened to everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's interesting when luckily we don't have to travel to a cruise on an airline very often. But it's really kind of funny, even when you go to Disney or something like that, there's always going to be people that you're going to see coming back on the plane that are going to be red,
Yeah,
So
they've definitely had their fair share and more.
Yeah, we know that they're coming home from their vacation. Right.
They are, right? Yeah. Hopefully, and not doing too much damage to their skin. Right. So we're real sensitive to that living in Florida, and just want to encourage everybody to have a safe and healthy vacation. Now, along those lines, not only are you protecting yourself from the sun, you may be going out on an excursion or even onto a private island of a cruise line where you're also going to be out in nature. So maybe in the wooded areas, high grasses, whatever it might be. And bugs are the other little contributor to a nuisance on your vacation.
Absolutely, you're going to be zip lining through the forest or something like that.
Going on a hike.
Going on a hike, doing ATV. You're going to be where there are little bugs.
That's right. And so again, you could go down to the little gift shop on your cruise line and pick up some bug spray. But you can buy an awful lot more at home than what you're going to find in that shop on the cruise line. Right. It's like going into the little shop at the airport or a hotel to their little gift shop. They have small packages at high prices.
Right.
And again, you may not have the variety to choose things that are good for you and your family.
Right.
So I like to take this one. It's just a pump spray. I usually put it in a Ziploc bag so it doesn't potentially leak out onto anything else that we're packing. I really like that. And the other thing that I discovered not too long ago that people may want to think about, and that these bugs find me like a magnet. I am his best bug protection by just being there because they find me. But it's to use this Go Clip. Right. This Go Clip is good for, it says, up to 6 days if you were using it like 8 hours a day, which you're usually not. It is a personal mosquito repellent that also repels biting flies and ticks. It is DEET-free. It is kid-safe, so great for you and your family. All natural ingredients, so it's not a chemical-based thing. But you may be able to see from this little item that it clips on. So you could clip it on the back of your shirt, at your waistline, although you don't want to knock it off. The back of your shirt's great because you have less likelihood of knocking it away. But having it on you gives you like little personal mosquito protection. And then I put it right back in this resealable foil pouch when I'm done, pull it back out tomorrow, and use it again. Right. So one of these would be great to take even if you were going away for a week or 10 days on a cruise. You might want to have 1 or 2 of these for anybody who needs that personal mosquito repellent. Because it's all natural, you can use it at home too. It's great for bike riding, taking walks and hikes. And I see on the package they even show that it's dog friendly.
You can put it on a dog, you can clip it onto your beach chair, you don't have to wear it.
But the closer it is to you, probably.
Well, yeah, if it's right on your chair, then the better it is. So.
And you can get these online. We'll leave the link below. And I've also seen them in some local stores. So keep an eye out for the Go Clip, which is your personal mosquito repellent. Another good find, something to take with you on vacation. Now, I mentioned that I am the attractor of mosquitoes, and they are for your safety net. And so even with all of my repellent and protection, they find me.
They still get you.
They find me. Yep. And so if they do that to you as well, an easy thing to pack that doesn't take up a lot of room is a product called Afterbite. Here's what the package looks like. They have another colorful purple looking package for kids. And inside you basically have this very easy to carry tube that you can just screw off the top, invert this, and rub this on the area where you have gotten that mosquito bite that's itching and starting to, annoy you. And this really does take the edge off. I've tried many things, and usually the itch doesn't go away. This does a pretty good job of reducing the itch, and therefore you're not, kind of tempted to keep rubbing against that thing or scraping it. So the Afterbite is a really nice item if you haven't been successful in repelling those mosquitoes at all. But also in the pharmacy, when I'm thinking about things like Afterbite and my mosquito repellent, I also think about maybe a tube of cortisone or Benadryl, because sometimes you just have a little, again, a bite, an inflammation, some kind of a mark or something that happens to you, somebody gets you, and you want to just be able to, again, start that healing process and take the edge off of itching or any kind of sting. So I think these are real easy to take with you as well. And because you could have some kind of an accident or a cut, not just a mosquito bite, I really also suggest bringing a triple antibiotic ointment. This is Neosporin's to-go version, which again is just a little pump spray package that's really easy if you don't want to take another tube of cream or ointment. Goes on clean, but this is a really nice way if somebody in your party does get cut that you can immediately get that antibiotic on there before you put a Band-Aid after you've washed the wound, of course, but that's a good one. And speaking of that, I think this goes really well with a little maybe emergency first aid kit.
Yeah, you should always
don't forget that.
Bring some Band-Aids and whatever else, because you can go down to the store and you can get some Band-Aids. They might cost about $4 or $5 each. But you can bring a little kit with you. You can pick up. They're very inexpensive. A little travel kit. You can always reload it yourself with the stuff that you go from home. But just a little package or something like that is always a good idea to have. And
just inevitably, somebody's got a blister on the back of their foot, or somebody gets a cut, maybe even a paper cut from all of those daily planners you get in your room. Anything can happen, and so it's good to have a few basic first aid supplies. Don't forget that if it is something that escalates more than what you can handle with your onboard first aid supplies, there is always a medical facility on board a cruise ship, and they are prepared to help you as well. But you probably don't need to tap into them for things like this that you could take care of yourself and move on and have a great day.
That's right.
So that's really important. The other thing, and I think you hear this on any packing video, is just to really think about your family and their needs as it relates to any key medicines that you know you need to have with you. First off, prescriptions, of course. Carry them with you in your day bag. Do not put them in your checked luggage, and make sure they're available to you for any dose that you may need to take, even if your luggage is delayed getting to your stateroom. Even over the counter, think about things that might be triggers for your family. If somebody's in an environment where allergies are a problem and you know they have that issue, maybe you bring them their Claritin or their Zyrtec from home. And again, a lot more cost effective, and you're getting the brand you know works for you or your family member, rather than buying it in the gift shop where it's a lot more expensive and they may or may not have it. I think Advil is another trusty friend. I have the small bottle that I take with me when I travel, not the big bottle I've got in our cabinet at home.
Sure.
But this can obviously go a long way. So whether you're a Tylenol fan or Advil or some other brand, just having some kind of a inflammation relief and or pain reliever with you is just a good handy thing. And then I would say, consider, again, if people have inclinations toward allergies or stuffiness, you want Sudafed or Benadryl with you.
Whatever brand you
depending on the country you're going to, you may want to have a little bit of Imodium with you. And as you're having things that happen too fast or too slow through your digestive system, you can kind of take care of that on your own. Again, having things that may not be readily available when you're out of the country. And you may want to just have a little bit, maybe take one sleeve out with you. You may not always need to take the whole box. And my last couple of tips are really around potential for motion sickness. Some people are very concerned about being on ocean cruises in particular, maybe a little less so on a river cruise where you're within sight of land and just kind of on much calmer waters many times. But out in the ocean, you're not really sure, and you want to be prepared. And so a couple of things to think about well in advance. You can think about how your travel advisor helps you identify and locate a good cabin stateroom for you for your cruise reservation. If you can be midship, that is going to be the steadiest part of the ship and probably will help minimize, unless things get really rough, help minimize your discomfort if you have that kind of prone to seasickness issue. I guess the front of the ship and the back of the ship sometimes are not quite as comfortable.
Sure, just logically thinking of when the ship is going through the waves, the center part is going to be the least amount, although you know, it's going to move.
It's going to move.
So,
and you could have to be skirting a storm or something. And so
Right.
every once in a while, depending on which ocean you're sailing on, the waves are deeper and rolling, or the weather is a factor. And so in addition to having a cabin that makes you feel comfortable, maybe midship if you can get one, or close to midship, you may want to think about bringing either medical or non-medical support for you and motion sickness. And so if you're prone to motion sickness and don't like medicine as a first line of defense, I really like C-bands. They come in different colors, so again, they're great if they're different members of the family. People can have their own pair of wristbands that go put on very easily. They're kind of elasticized and put the right kind of pressure on your wrists that help a lot of people on land and on sea when they feel a little bit nauseous.
Our daughter loves those things. She swears by them. She uses them on the plane, uses them on the cruise, so uses them in the movies. I mean, she just uses them all the time.
Right, so it's a very nice natural choice, drug-free, to help reduce all types of nausea. So it's a good one to think about for a cruise ship. And having an extra pair to share with somebody might be a nice thing for you to bring along. And then the other thing I would choose, you can also put a patch behind your ear, scopolamine, or you can get a product that our family likes called Bonine. Small package, easy to pack with you and take, and they're small tablets, easy to swallow, and you can use these if you're starting to have a bout of seasickness or motion sickness as well. So on my walk through the pharmacy, those are the things that come to mind that I think are really must-haves for packing for a cruise, and that we have lined up so that we're ready to go on our next cruise vacation.
And you know, another thing for motion sickness that you didn't mention that you might consider getting is the drink package, because it's just going to offset everything.
Is that how that works?
It
you
works
don't think
for
it's
me
going to
every
bring
time.
it on?
Not for me. It
No.
just, you know, everybody's having trouble walking down the aisles and stuff, but I don't have any problem.
You're very lucky. Well,
Absolutely.
you're very creative in your solutions too. Very creative. Well, if this video has given you some information that is helpful, tips that you can use to plan your next vacation, please give this a thumbs up. We appreciate your feedback. Leave comments below for some of the key things that you look for during your walk through the pharmacy before your cruise trip, and consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate you subscribing and turning on notifications. When you subscribe and hit that like button, it helps YouTube's algorithm push this video out to other people who are cruisers or thinking about cruising, who can benefit from videos that are helpful to you and to us as well. And there is no obligation to you. It's totally free to subscribe. We don't follow up with you and hound you in any way. You just have the opportunity to continue to check in on cruise news, cruise vacations, sweet escapes with Next Wave Cruising, everything that we do to report on the cruise life that we enjoy so much. So thank you for watching this video. Good luck with your packing and enjoy your upcoming cruise. We're ready to head out to one of ours.
All right. See you real soon.
See you soon.